Has someone ever sent you so many inspiration images that you just didn't know where to start? Don't get overwhelmed. In this video, I'm going to show you how to take all of those inspiration photos and create a unique cake design in 3 simple steps. If you're new to my channel and want to learn more about cake decorating, be sure to subscribe to get more helpful tips and tutorials. So this happened to me recently. My cousin reached out to me about a birthday cake for her son who's turning 2 and the theme was Sesame Street. So here are the images that she sent me. The first thing that you want to do when you have all of these inspiration images is go through and look for common themes and make a list of all of these themes. So there are some very obvious things like characters, specific colors, and also specific motifs, but you really want to take a look at any fine details as well. Are there specific shapes? Is there a topper? How is the cake board decorated? Is there ribbon or other small details? And then finally, you want to take a look at what kind of materials or techniques. So do you have images of all buttercream cakes, fondant cakes? Are there multiple tiers? Is there sculpted cake? So you want to make a list of all of the themes that you are noticing. So step number 2 is to go through and place a star next to the items that seem the most important. One way to tell that these items are important is if they appear in more than one photo. So for this particular cake, some of those kinds of things that I noticed were that Elmo appeared quite often. I also noticed that the Sesame Street style name appeared on some of these photos. As far as the details and technique and construction goes, I did notice that the majority of these cakes were fondant cakes and that ribbon was featured on the cake board. So those are the items that I made sure to include in the cake design. Another way to look at this is to think, if these items weren't on the cake, would your client be unhappy? So step number 3 is to sketch out cake ideas that deviate from all of these inspiration photos. And this is where the magic happens. So ask yourself, how can I make this cake unique? How can I make this cake stand out? This is also an opportunity for you to try out some new techniques if you feel comfortable. Now, I keep a Pinterest board and I reference it from time to time for inspiration. And these include some really neat techniques that I've seen on cakes and cupcakes in the past. I really wanted to incorporate this really neat idea that I saw with a cake topper that was actually holding the candles. And since he was turning 2, it really worked out to just have a candle in both hands. So here's an image of me working on the sketch and starting to incorporate some of those items that I starred on the list. And from here, I was able to create a more finalized cake sketch that I could share with my cousin. So super important, if you are planning to be paid for this cake, you never want to sketch out a cake and then share that sketch with your client until a deposit is paid. Never, ever, 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 ever. Now, I've had a bad experience recently and I've been burned, so that was a lesson I had to learn the hard way, unfortunately. So with this, there's the opposite end of the spectrum, whereas someone will send you a photograph of the cake and say, hey, this is exactly what I want, I just need you to change the name or change a color. This happens from time to time, actually quite often, and it's typically something that's frowned upon. I talk a little bit more about that in this video, which is also linked in the description below. You really want to use this opportunity to create a cake that's unique and that's going to stand out and that you would be proud to put your name on. So here's the final cake. I really loved how it came out and my cousin was very happy with the cake as well. So again, I share my 3 simple tips for creating a unique cake design from a ton of inspiration photos, and I hope that this helps you in your cake decorating journey. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you hit the like button below and subscribe if you want to see more of my content. As always, thanks for watching.